The door was not fully closed. A thin line of light touched the floor. Voices slipped out with it. My heart began to race. Fast. Loud. Like it wanted to escape my chest. Then I heard my name. Came out of their mouths so easily. Like it meant nothing. Like I was not a person. Let her believe we care, someone said. The voice was calm. Too calm. Another voice answered. She trusts us too much. A laugh followed. Not a happy laugh. Not a kind one. A laugh that felt dirty. My body went cold. My fingers felt numb. I held onto the wall to stay standing. These were not strangers. These were the people who hugged me. The people who ate with me. The people I called family. I stood still. Very still. Their words kept coming. She won't question anything, one voice said. She never does. They laughed again. The sound cut me open. Slow and deep. My mind started to run. Was this real? Was I dreaming? No. This was real. They talked like I was not there. Like I was already gone. Like I had no ears. Like I had no heart. She thinks we love her, another voice said. That's the best part. I swallowed hard. They talked about money. They talked about papers. They talked about plans made behind my back. She signed everything, someone said. She didn't even read it. More laughter. My hands shook. My knees felt weak. But I did not fall. She is easy to control, a voice said. So soft. So quiet. Easy. That word sat in my chest. Heavy. Painful. I wanted to scream. I wanted to burst into the room and ask, why are you doing this to me? But I didn't. Because something strange was happening inside me. The pain was still there. But it was changing. It was turning into something cold. Something sharp. I realized something important. They were not sorry. They were proud. They enjoyed it. They enjoyed using me. They enjoyed laughing behind my back. My eyes burned. A tear rolled down my face. I wiped it away fast. Crying would not help me. Explaining would not save me. In that dark hallway, I stopped hoping. I remembered every time I defended them. Every time I chose them over myself. Every time I said, they are my family. That word lost its meaning. Right there, I made a silent promise. I will not confront them. I will not expose them. I will not walk away yet. I will stay. I will smile when they speak. I will nod when they lie. I will play the role they gave me. They think I am weak. They think I am blind. They are wrong. Because the girl standing in that hallway is not the same girl they know. The day I stop calling them family has already begun. They just don't know it yet. Morning came like nothing happened. The sun rose. Birds made noise. Life moved on. I walked into the room. They were already there. Faces calm. Voices sweet. Smiles ready. Good morning, one of them said. Like they did not destroy me last night. I answered, good morning. My voice did not shake. Inside me, everything was burning. But my face was quiet. They watched me closely. Not with care. With testing eyes. Did you sleep well? Someone asked. Yes, I said. That was my first lie to them. They smiled. Relieved. They thought I knew nothing. They talked like always. About food. About plans. About small useless things. I listened. Every word. Every tone. I noticed things I never noticed before. How they avoided my eyes. How they spoke fast when money came up. How their smiles faded when I stayed silent. Before, I would talk. I would explain. I would try to fix things. Not today. I ate quietly. I drank my tea slowly. My hands were steady. Inside my head, I replayed last night. Every laugh. Every lie. Every word. She is easy. That sentence stayed with me. After breakfast, one of them touched my shoulder. The touch felt fake. You know we love you, they said. I looked at them. Straight in the eyes. I know, I replied. That smile they gave me? It was not relief. It was a victory. They thought they owned me. I went to my room and closed the door. Slowly, carefully, I sat on the bed. I stared at the wall. My heart was calm now. Too calm. I started thinking. Not crying. Not praying. Planning. I remembered every secret I kept for them. Every mistake I covered. Every lie I protected. I remembered dates. Names. Places. Things they thought I forgot. I stood up and looked at myself in the mirror. The girl looking back at me was quiet, but her eyes were different. No fear, no confusion. Just patience. I whispered to myself, they think this is over. I shook my head slowly. This was only the beginning. I picked up my phone. I did not call anyone. I did not text anyone. I deleted nothing. I saved everything. Messages. Documents. Voices. Proof. Piece by piece. Outside my door, I heard laughter again. Their laughter. I smiled. Let them laugh. Let them feel safe. Because the more comfortable they feel, the harder they will fall. And when they fall, I will not be there to catch them. I will be watching. Quietly. Days passed. Slow days. Quiet days. Nothing looked different on the outside. But inside me, everything had changed. I woke up early every morning. Not because I had to. Because I wanted to listen. I listened to footsteps. I listened to whispers. I listened to silence. Silence tells the most truth. They talked freely around me now. Too freely. They thought I was blind. They thought I was weak. They thought I was still theirs. I smiled when they joked. I nodded when they lied. I agreed when they pushed papers in front of me. Just sign here, they said. I did. But this time, I read every word. Every line. Every hidden meaning. I learned their patterns. Who spoke first? Who followed? Who lied the most? Who stayed quiet? The quiet one was the worst. I learned when they felt confident. When they felt nervous. When they argued in low voices. At night, I stayed awake. Not scared. Focused. I wrote things down. Dates. Times. Words. I kept everything hidden. Very hidden. Once, I heard them arguing. She is asking too many questions, one said. Another replied, she's still harmless. Harmless. That word almost made me laugh. One day, I walked past the room again. The door was closed this time. But not fully. I stopped. She will sign it tomorrow, someone said. And after that? Another asked. We won't need her anymore. My chest tightened. But my face stayed calm. I walked away slowly. I did not run. That night, I looked at my hands. These hands built things. These hands fixed things. These hands trusted the wrong people. I clenched them. I thought about every time I defended them in public. Every time I stayed silent to keep peace. Every time I said, they are my family. I stopped saying that word in my head. Family does not plan your fall. Family does not laugh at your pain. I was not angry all the time. That surprised me. I was clear. Clear minds make better moves. I began to move small things. Very small. I asked questions in soft voices. I delayed signatures. I saved copies. They did not notice. They were too busy feeling powerful. One evening, one of them looked at me and said, "You've changed." I smiled gently. "People grow," I replied. They laughed. They were not worried. They should have been. Because while they were planning my end, I was learning every step of their game. And when you know the game, you control the ending. I went to bed that night and slept well. For the first time in a long time. Because I knew something they didn't. I was no longer waiting to survive. I was waiting to strike. I started acting smaller. I spoke less. I asked for advice. I nodded more. They liked that. It made them comfortable. It made them careless. They began to talk around me again. Not in whispers this time. Out loud. She finally understands, one said. Another replied, she knows her place now. I kept my eyes down. I kept my voice soft. Inside me, I was counting. I counted every lie. every fake smile, every promise they broke. They pushed more papers at me. I signed slowly. I watched their hands shake with excitement. They thought this was the end. One day, they celebrated. They brought food. They laughed loudly. To family, someone said, raising a cup. I lifted mine too. My hand did not shake. To family, I repeated. The word tasted bitter. They made plans in front of me. Trips. Spending. New beginnings. All without me. I listened carefully. At night, I went through my saved things again. Messages. Recordings. Proof. It was all there. Their voices. Their plans. Their greed. I backed everything up. Twice. I hid copies where they would never look. One evening, one of them came to me alone. You're doing the right thing, they said. This is best for everyone. I looked at them and smiled. I just want peace, I said. That was not a lie. Peace was coming. Just not for them. They started treating me like I was already gone. Talking over me. Deciding without me. It hurt. But I let it. Pain was part of the plan. The more they believed I was broken, the bolder they became. They stopped locking doors. They stopped lowering voices. They left things lying around. Mistakes. One night, I heard them celebrating again. She's finished, someone said. She won't even fight. I lay in my bed and stared at the ceiling. I did not cry. I did not pray. I smiled. Because the moment they think they have won is the moment they stop watching. And when they stop watching, that is when the truth walks in. Slowly. That was when I began. Not loud. Not fast. Slow. Very slow. I changed small things first. Things no one notices. I moved documents back where they belonged. I copied files they thought were gone. I followed money trails they forgot to hide. They were careless now. Careless people leave doors open. I asked simple questions. Soft questions. Why is this here? Can you explain this again? They answered without thinking. They always did. They thought I was confused. They thought I needed help. I let them think that. Every answer they gave me was another rope they tied around themselves. I started visiting places alone. Banks. Offices. People they never introduced me to. I smiled. I listened. I learned. Some people looked surprised to see me. Some looked scared. That told me everything. I realized something important. They were not as smart as they thought. They were just louder than me. At home, I acted tired, weak, lost. They liked that version of me. She's finally broken, someone said one night. I heard it, I remembered it. I started writing letters I never planned to send it. Just to clear my head. I wrote their names. I wrote what they did. I wrote how they made me feel. Then I locked the letters away. I did not need anger anymore. I needed control. One evening, I found something they forgot to destroy. A small thing, but powerful. I held it in my hands for a long time. This was not revenge yet. This was confirmation. I knew then that when the time came, they would not be able to deny anything. I slept better after that. My steps became lighter. My thoughts are clearer. They noticed. You seem calmer, one said. I am, I replied. That was the truth. I was no longer scared of losing them. I had already let them go. Family does not do what they did. Family does not plan your fall and smile about it. I stopped calling them family in my heart. They still used the word. They said it loudly, proudly. They did not know the word was already dead. One night, I stood alone and looked at the sky. I felt something new. Not anger. Not sadness. Strength. The kind that does not shout. The kind that waits. Because everything was almost ready. And when I finally spoke, the truth would be louder than all their lies combined. Something changed that week. Not outside. Inside. I stopped reacting. When they called my name, I answered late. When they asked questions, I answered shortly. When they smiled, I smiled back, but colder. They noticed. Are you okay? One asked. I'm fine, I said. That word made them uneasy. Before, I tried to please them. I tried to fix things. I tried to hold everyone together. Not anymore. They started arguing more. Small fights. Sharp words. They blamed each other. She was your idea. No, you pushed it. You promised this would work. I listened. Quietly. They were cracking. One morning, I did not come out for breakfast. I stayed in my room. No apology. No explanation. They waited. They were not used to that. Later, someone knocked on my door. "Are you upset?" they asked. I opened the door slowly. I looked at them. I said nothing. That scared them. Because silence is dangerous when someone expects fear. I walked past them and left the house. I went where truth lives. Where records are kept. Where lies cannot hide. I spoke calmly. I showed proof. Faces changed. Voices lowered. They asked questions. I answered once. That was enough. When I came back home, the air felt heavy. They felt it too. They watched me closely now. Not with confidence. With fear. They whispered again. But this time, their voices shook. "She knows something," one said. "No, she wouldn't dare," another replied. I almost smiled. They tried to be nice again. Too nice. Food I didn't ask for. Kind words too late. "Your family," they said. I looked at them. That word felt empty now. That night, I packed my things slowly. Not everything. Just what mattered. I left the rest behind. Memories. Lies. Pain. I placed my bag by the door. I stood in the room and looked around. This place took so much from me. But it taught me something important. People who hurt you will always underestimate your silence. Before sleeping, I sent one message. Short. Clear. "I'm ready." Then I turned off my phone. Outside, they were still talking. Still planning. Still lying. They didn't know time was up. Because tomorrow was not about waiting. Tomorrow is not about watching. Tomorrow was about truth. And truth does not knock. It enters and takes everything back. Morning came. No shouting. No warnings. Just truth walking in. I left the house early. I did not say goodbye. I did not look back. They were still asleep. Still dreaming. Still thinking they were safe. I walked into the place where lies stop working. Where words are checked. Where proof speaks louder than voices. I placed everything on the table. Messages. Papers. Voices. Dates. One by one. No anger. No crying. Just facts. Faces changed. Eyes widened. The room went silent. Someone asked, "How long have you known?" I answered simply, "Long enough." They made calls. They checked records. They compared stories. The lies fell apart fast. Too fast. By the time the sun was high, everything they built on my back was breaking. Accounts frozen. Plans stopped. Doors closed. I did not smile. I did not celebrate. I felt calm. Later that day, my phone started ringing. Once. Twice. Again. I did not answer. Messages came in. "We can explain. This is a mistake. Your family." I read them slowly. Then I deleted them all. Family does not plan your fall. Family does not laugh when you trust them. Family does not use your silence against you. By evening, the truth had reached them. I heard the shouting from far away. Blame. Fear. Panic. They turned on each other. Just like I knew they would. I was no longer there to protect them, no longer there to fix things. For the first time, they were alone. That night, I sat in a quiet place. Just me. No noise. No lies. I thought about the girl I was. The one who believed too much. The one who called everyone family. I whispered goodbye to her. She did her best. She survived. I stood up as someone new. Someone who knows this truth. You don't need to shout to win. You don't need to destroy to end something. You just need to stop protecting people who would never protect you. That was the day I stopped calling them family. Not with anger. Not with revenge screams. With silence. With truth. With my life finally back in my hands. and that was enough. Days passed. Quiet days. No calls. No messages. No noise. For the first time, my life felt light. I woke up without fear. I slept without thinking. My body rested. People started telling me things. Things I was never meant to hear before. They are asking about you. They are scared. They don't understand how you did it. I understood. They were not scared of me. They were scared of the truth. I did not reply to anyone. Not out of hate. Out of peace. I began again. Small steps. New routines. New air. I ate when I wanted. I laughed when I felt like it. I spoke when I chose to. No one controlled my silence anymore. Sometimes, I remembered their faces. The shock. The panic. Not with joy. With distance. What they lost was not just power. They lost access to me. That was the real ending. One evening, I stood in front of a mirror again. Like before. But this time, I smiled. Not because I won. Because I was free. I did not need revenge anymore. Revenge already happened. It happened the moment I chose myself. The moment I stopped calling them family and started calling myself safe. The world did not clap. The sky did not change. But inside me, everything was quiet. And that quiet was the loudest victory of all. I did not go back. Not once. The door stayed closed. The past stayed behind me. People asked questions. I gave no answers. Some stories do not need explaining. They just end. I built a new life slowly. One calm day at a time. No shouting. No fear. No pretending. I trusted myself again. That took the longest. Some nights, the memories came back. The laughter. The lies. The moment everything broke. I let them pass. They had no power anymore. I learned something simple. You do not need revenge that screams. You do not need fire. The strongest revenge is peace they can never touch. They lost control. They lost their lives. They lost me. And I gained everything. My voice. My choices. My life. The day I stopped calling them family was not the day I became cold. It was the day I became free. I walked forward. Head high. Heart steady.